My dad always said my older brother was born to lead, and I was born to fill out paperwork. I just shrugged. It was the dynamic we always had. My brother got the praise. My dad got the legacy. And I got the desk jobs. Then last Tuesday, my dad's brand new business partner walked into our family garage. He wasn't there for a social visit. He was there to sign off on some inventory. While walking through the workshop, he stopped dead in his tracks, looking straight at the rusted sports car sitting under a dusty tarp in the back corner. He pointed a finger at it, his face losing all color, and asked, "Where did you get this?" Before my dad could even answer, the partner pulled up an old, archived police report on his phone, turning the screen around. The second my dad saw the file photo and the matching VIN number listed on the screen, his hand started shaking, and his heavy iron wrench dropped right onto the concrete floor with a deafening clang. He didn't say a word. He just looked at my brother and then looked at me. And that was the exact moment I realized my family's perfect reputation was a complete lie. The silence that followed was heavy and absolute, broken only by the low hum of the fluorescent lights overhead. The business partner, Marcus, didn't lower his phone. His arm stayed locked in place, holding the screen forward like a shield, his eyes darting frantically between the faded photo on the screen and the physical car resting under the stye. "Ned Tarp?" Arthur, Marcus said, his voice dropping to a harsh, gravelly whisper that felt louder than a shout. "Look at me. This vehicle was registered to a major missing persons case from 12 years ago. Why is it sitting deep inside your private workshop?" Wrapped up like junk, my brother, Julian, immediately stepped into the space between them, his posture defensive. "Marcus, take a breath. There's a completely logical explanation for this," Julian said, his tone smooth, though his eyes were completely rigid. "We buy old chassis from salvage yards all the time. The paperwork gets messy when you're dealing with third-party liquidators. A VIN number mix-up happens more often than you think. I handle every single piece of paperwork that comes through." "These doors, Julian," I said, stepping out from behind the front desk, my boots echoing against the concrete. "And I have gone through every file in our archive for the last 5 years. I've never seen a single registration or inventory log for that car. It isn't in our system." Marcus wasn't listening. The trust was entirely broken. He began backing away toward the garage exit, his thumb already hovering aggressively over his phone screen. "I'm not signing the partnership papers, Arthur. The deal is completely off." He turned on his heel, threw open the side door, and marched out to his vehicle, leaving a massive cloud of dust hanging in the afternoon air. The moment Marcus sped away, I turned directly to my dad, my hands trembling, as the gravity of the situation started to sink in. 12 years ago, Dad, think about the timeline. Where did that car actually come from? Who did it belong to? Julian let out a sharp, frustrated breath. "Oh, come on, Leo," dropped the Boy Scout. "Routine. How do you think we funded the startup costs for this entire building? How do you think we paid your college tuition and bought the high-end tools we use every single day? Hard work alone doesn't build a garage like this from scratch. You found it," I whispered, looking back and forth between my father's silence and my brother's anger. "Or worse, you took it. It was completely abandoned in the old industrial warehouse district on the edge of town," Julian argued defensively. "The keys were sitting right in the ignition. And that vehicle sat untouched in an alleyway for weeks. We didn't do anything to the guy. We just stumbled across a massive opportunity and took the asset to secure our own future. Dad protected me. We brought it here under the radar. And we used the resources to lay the foundation of this company." "And what about the missing person?" I asked, my voice cracking. "What about the family that's been looking for closure for over a decade? It has absolutely nothing to do with us anymore," my dad said firmly, his voice suddenly regaining its usual stern, unyielding composure. He walked over to me, placing a heavy hand on my shoulder. "Leo, look at me. You are a member of this family." Marcus is panicked. and he is going to call the authorities. We have less than an hour before people start asking questions. I need you to go straight to the office computer, log into the secure server, and permanently delete the digital garage entry files from that entire year, instead of moving toward the terminal. I took a step back, slipping out from under his grip. My boots felt incredibly heavy as I walked toward the back office. They thought I was going to wipe the drive, but as soon as I shut the frosted glass door behind me, I bypassed the main utility application and pulled up the raw network archives from 12 years ago. There it was, an unlisted entry showing a vehicle being brought into the bay at 3:14 a.m. on a Tuesday night. But what made my blood run cold was the note attached to the file system I recorded scanning log of persona. All items removed from the glove box, including a state registration card belonging to a local accountant who had vanished without a trace the very next morning. Through the window of the office door, I could see Julian frantically throwing heavy ratchet straps over the top of the vehicle, trying to secure the tarp, his face pale and drenched in sweat. My dad stood near the main bay doors, staring out toward the empty road, watching for any sign of flashing lights. The clock on the corner of my screen ticked down mercilessly. The family dynamic hadn't just been an unequal distribution of praise. It was an assignment of roles. Julian was the public face meant to inherit the legacy. I was kept in the dark, handling the backhand data, chosen precisely because my meticulous nature ensured the records looked pristine to the outside world. I had been their perfect shield without ever knowing it. I looked down at the glowing monitor. If I clicked the delete key, the last remaining link connecting our family business to that cold case would vanish forever. If I hit export, the files would sync straight to an external cloud drive accessible by anyone outside these walls. The heavy metallic clatter of the garage doors sliding shut echoed through the walls, plunging the outer workshop into shadow. Julian tapped aggressively on the glass door of the office, his eyes wide with urgency as he pointed directly at the computer screen. Slowly, I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone, my thumb hovering directly over the emergency keypad, completely aware that whatever choice I made in the next 10 seconds would either protect my family's hidden history forever or tear our lives apart down to the foundation.